a new city has changed the way I look at my life and maybe even the things that make me happy. I don't know if it's just me, but lately I have realized that my idea of a good weekend has completely changed. A few years ago, I would have wanted to go somewhere, meet people, do something exciting, and now give me a clean house, good food, and a cup of chai, and I'm genuinely happy. But I don't think that means I've suddenly become someone who wants to stay at home all the time. I actually love going out. I love getting dressed, getting into a car, going for a drive, discovering new places, trying new food. I'm a very lively person and I genuinely enjoy being outside. I think what has changed is that I've started enjoying both sides of my life a little more. I can have a busy day outside and come home and feel equally happy sitting quietly with my chai. And I think moving to Mysuru has played a big part in that. When I first moved here, everything felt new. Even the simplest things like figuring out where to go, finding places I liked, understanding the roads, getting used to the neighborhood, slowly creating a routine. When you have lived somewhere for a long time, you don't realize how much of your life is built around familiarity. You know exactly where you wanted to go when you needed something, and you know your favorite places there. You know the people around there. You have your little routines without even thinking about them. And suddenly you move to a new city and you have to create all of that again. But honestly, Mysuru has been very kind to me in that way. One thing I really love about the city is how peaceful it feels. And I don't mean peaceful as in boring or quiet all the time. I actually love that I can go out and explore the city, roam around, go for drives, find little places, and still come back to the sense of calm. There is something about the pace here that I really enjoy. It feels like I can be busy when I want to be busy and slow down when I want to slow down. And I think that's something I've really started appreciating. Because this phase of life is also quite different, I'm trying to build my work here, build my routines, make this house feel like home, figure out my days. There are so many new things happening at once. And I think when so many things are changing, having a city that gives you a little bit of peace is actually a blessing. And sometimes I'll be out and I'll just think like, okay, I think I'm actually starting to like it here. And those little moments make me feel like maybe I'm slowly finding my place. But I think there's another side to moving that nobody really talks about. When you move somewhere new, you gain a new life, but you also realize how much you miss the life you left behind. I miss my family. Sometimes I miss my mom and dad. I miss my brother and my bhabhi. And I especially miss my nephews, the little ones whom I really, really adore. And these are the days when I wish I could just casually go over, sit with everyone, talk about absolutely nothing, spend time with them, and come back home. When you're living close to your family, you don't always realize how precious those ordinary moments are. And it's only when you are away that you suddenly notice how much you miss them. While I'm narrating this story to you, I'm already missing them. And I think that's probably the strangest thing about moving. You can be genuinely happy with the new life you're building and still miss your old life at the same time. Both things can exist together. I can love Mysuru and still miss my family. I can enjoy this new chapter and still have days where I wish I could be back home with them. And I think I've slowly learned that being happy in a new place doesn't mean you have to stop missing the people from your old one. I think that's also why these ordinary little moments or routines have started becoming important to me. Cooking lunch, getting the house in order, going out for a drive, finding a new place, sitting with my husband and talking about our day. These are all tiny little things, but when your life is changing, these tiny little things are what that gives you a sense of memory. And slowly, without really noticing it, you start creating a life that feels like yours again. And I think my idea of happiness has changed along with that. I used to think happiness had to be something big, a trip, a celebration, a really exciting day. And obviously, I still love all of those things. But now I also understand that happiness can be very ordinary. It can be going out for a drive without having a plan. It can be finding a really nice place in the new city. It can be cooking something you have been craving. It can be coming home after a long day and finally sitting down. It can even be laughing about something completely stupid with your husband. And let me tell you something funny. I think adulthood is basically just making food, cleaning up after making the food, and then immediately thinking about what you're going to eat next. That's a repeat thing. And honestly, I think I really needed this little break from work. I've spent the last 5 years constantly working, seeing patients, running around, and trying to balance everything else in life as well. So, having this phase where I can slow down a little, take a break when I need one, cook something, go out for a drive, or just spend a little time at home, it feels really, really nice. Of course, I still go to clinic in between and work is still a very important part of my life, but I think having the liberty to take a little break without feeling like I have to be productive every minute has been really refreshing. Maybe that's why I'm enjoying these ordinary moments so much. And it feels like a little pause before I get back to being Dr. Megha again. And some days these little breaks are exactly what I need. You don't always need a holiday to feel refreshed. Sometimes you just need to step away from your work for an hour at least, do something completely different, laugh a little, and come back with a clearer head. And you know what I have realized? I have become the kind of person who gets genuinely excited about food. Like, I can be having a completely normal day and suddenly think, what should I make tomorrow? And then I'll spend 20 minutes thinking about it, look at a few recipes, save something, and eventually make the same thing I always make. I don't know when this happened. There was a time when food was just food. Now I have opinions. I have moods, I have cravings, I have very specific ideas about what I want to eat on a particular day. And sometimes I'll decide I want something very simple, and then somehow I'll end up making five different things. And then I look at the kitchen and think, Megha, was all of this really necessary? But I think there's something really comforting about cooking when you actually have the time for it. Just taking your time, putting on something in the background, and making your food. And then, obviously, the best part is eating it. I think that's the only part of cooking where I'm extremely punctual. And maybe that's why I have started enjoying these little kitchen moments. They are so ordinary that you don't really think about them while they are happening. But later, when you look back at your life, I think these are exactly the kinds of moments you'll remember. Not because anything amazing happened, but because for a little while everything just felt nice. And thankfully, I don't have to do everything alone. Some things are just better when you do them together. And finally, the lunch was ready. And after lunch, we went out for a little drive because obviously, who can stay inside for too long? I really do love exploring Mysuru. There's something so nice about getting into a car or a scooty, putting on some music, and driving around without necessarily having a big plan. And then we had a tiny little reason to celebrate 1,000 followers on Instagram. I know it might seem like a small number to some people, but for me, it felt really special because I know how much work has gone through into every little step. And getting to celebrate something like this with my husband, even with this tiny little cake, honestly made it even more special. Thank you for being there with me until here. And I'll see you in my next chapter very, very soon.